The Heartbreak Kid is a really great episode of Two of a Kind. I don't remember it from my childhood. It didn't trigger any specific memories, but watching it now, I certainly had fun with it, and part of it did not go the way I was expecting. So I will describe what I mean by that with a spoiler warning in a little bit. This is the seventh episode and is directed by Richard Correll, and we have two narratives. One involves Ashley finding out that Taylor has a new girlfriend. And obviously, she's devastated. She's got a broken heart because she's had a crush on Taylor since the very beginning. And I will say that the girls were kind of mean about Megan, the girlfriend, without any repercussions. They were holding up a picture of a cow saying it was her, and they called her fat, and not to her face. But the fact that they were having these thoughts and having these discussions without anybody there to say, hey, you shouldn't do that, was a little bit awkward. But the fact that Ashley was going through this, I think, will be relatable, certainly, for some people of a similar age. And the way that part of the episode developed was really good. Kevin is also in a difficult situation because Ashley is hurting, but she doesn't want to talk about it with him. And he's used to being there to solve all of her problems, but she's getting to an age where that's not really going to be the case anymore. And it's an interesting one from Kevin's perspective as well. For me, though, the highlight was definitely Mary-Kate's story. Mary-Kate wants to have a pet bird because at the beginning, Carrie had taken them to a flea market. Ashley got a trunk, Mary-Kate got a bird cage. And finally, Kevin says, okay, you can have a bird, even though you don't have the best track record with pets. So Carrie takes Mary-Kate down to the bird store, or the pet store, and they get a pigeon, which I have to say, I don't think pigeons are meant to be kept in cages that size, but nevertheless, the pigeon is in this cage, and Mary-Kate's really happy. And then something happens, and that's the bit that I wasn't expecting, so I'll discuss it in a moment with a spoiler warning. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the whole episode was really fun, really entertaining, definitely provided some interesting perspectives depending on which side the characters were coming from, and I rather enjoyed it. The problem with the name calling with Megan definitely wasn't great, and I feel like there should have been something to say this isn't acceptable, but because they weren't saying these things around any grown-ups, I'm not sure how they could have done that. Maybe if somebody had been overhearing them or something. But other than that, I thought it had some really great messages in it, and it was a really good episode. So, spoiler from now, I'll explain what I thought was going to happen, and then what actually happened was so much better. So this is a big spoiler for Mary-Kate's part of the story. Before the pigeon took its first flight, it's a homing pigeon, of course, Ashley had painted its toenails. Or its claws, I guess, and the pigeon doesn't come back. So Carrie goes to the pet store behind Mary-Kate's back to buy another pigeon. And I thought, because Carrie didn't know about the nail polish, I thought Mary-Kate would look at this bird, realise it doesn't have nail polish, and she'd find out what Carrie had done. No, this bird does have nail polish. It turns out that this bird would go back to the pet store, and the pet store owner would keep selling the same bird. But of course, because it had nail varnish on, they were able to tell it's the same bird, which I thought was really clever and very funny and very entertaining. So definitely a really great episode. The Heartbreak Kid is a lot of fun and one that I really thoroughly enjoyed.